ठीक है 3, 2, 1
Oh,
what a start. What a
Oh
start.
shit.
We took 20 minutes to start, and as soon as I said 3, 2, 1, Dipesh bhai, cheeke, acha shagun. So welcome back to the I Am Sorry podcast, everyone. And we're doing our Premier League monthly wrap up, and we'll be continuing with this throughout the season. So monthly wrap up, and we welcome back our main person who was missing in the season previews. So Neeraj Pal from Chelsea. Welcome back to the podcast. How do you feel coming back? What are your thoughts? Looking forward. Bolo bas, over to you.
yeah. Thank you for welcoming me. And yeah, I had this last season for football. So yeah, this time I've thought like जो भी हो Chelsea के साथ I'll follow Premier League, whatever be it. So करेंगे. And yeah, pretty good 4 weeks of football. Yeah, I followed all the teams this time. Yeah, looking forward to this season and the wrap up for this first 4 game weeks. Yeah.
Neeraj absolutely wanted to showcase Chelsea's history behind him because his
Yeah.
almost negligible
Oh, yes.
present. So anyway, yeah, enough
Yeah.
of we have enough time for banter. And from one Chelsea fan to another passionate Chelsea fan who is at Stamford Bridge in the middle of it, Kusha, welcome back. How do you feel? How are you? All good?
Good. Thank you so much for having me again. It's a mixed feeling. Looking forward to have some discussions. Let's hope that I'm positive throughout the podcast.
Yeah, no worry. And the preview, Kush was a little, optimistic. So I'm hoping there is some optimism left because just
I,
four
I
games in, right?
I I hope I still have some optimism left in me. Let's see.
Yeah.
We shall
And
see.
last but not the least, we have our neutral Premier League panel expert, Mr. Dipesh Wadhwa from Camp Nou, Barcelona. So welcome, Dipesh. Looking forward to, as usual, your unbiased, neutral opinion.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Looking
Okay.
forward to the 4 game week.
Yeah. And what I have in store is a surprise. I hadn't told you. We have a trivia to start with. We will do a quick trivia to check how sharp your minds are. To just wake up, it's what 11:30 p.m. in the night after working hard throughout the week. So a small trivia to start with. Very easy question. So what we'll do is I'll ask the question. Whoever says can start with the answer. Okay, can just say out the answer out aloud. Very simple question to start with. Who has the most Premier League titles and how much?
United.
United. Yeah.
How much, Dipesh?
20.
20?
It's the Premier League or
Premier League.
like the Premier League era?
English titles.
Oh.
English titles.
English title.
I think
Yeah.
it's 20. I think it's 20.
20, it's correct. I mean, Robin Van Persie
Yeah.
with the 20
Yeah.
jersey gave United the 20th title for Man United. So congratulations, Dipesh, 1-0. And now we have, who is the British record fee player in British transfer history? Who is the British record player?
Ah, ah,
Yeah,
This
Dipesh.
everybody knows. We don't want to answer. Come on,
Right.
Dipesh. Dipesh, come on.
Who is it?
He
Declan
told.
Rice.
He's wrong. So on to Neeraj and Kush. You should know. Caicedo is the answer from Neeraj, which is right.
Wait.
And
Oh,
What
wait,
is
wait.
wrong with you,
You
Dipesh?
asked English player, right?
no, not an
Hey,
English
British
player.
No.
record
British
transfer fee.
record.
British record transfer.
Oh,
It's okay. Who is the second highest?
Come on, Dipesh.
Okay, Kush.
दीपेश ही जाएगा पहले. कुछ भी है दीपेश ही जाएगा पहले.
कुछ ने किया ना शायद.
Declan Rice.
बट जो भी दीपेश ही जाएगा पहले. मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. कोई भी क्या दीपेश ही
It is. I think it's a controversial
right?
opinion. Yeah, it's between
Yeah.
Enzo and
Enzo-
Declan Rice.
Enzo and
yeah.
Declan. हाँ.
I think
Declan
only
Rice,
the real agents know who the real player is. So anyway,
Yeah.
and now
And then
we will have a segue to 23-24. Who is the highest scorer in the season so far? Premier League season so far.
मेरा शॉर्ट्स चला ना लास्ट सीजन का प्लीज.
Yeah. Okay, so the question now is, how many goals?
I think he'll
Anyone?
be injured.
Anyone wants to
Probably
take a
He'll
just
wild
losing
fall.
a
guess?
bit.
He'll fall short of his last season
No,
by two to three goals.
how many goals has he scored so far this season?
Oh, five.
Okay, that's
Five or
wrong. Anyone
six.
else? Neeraj?
Like one hat trick, one brace, and I don't remember the other matches. Like it's
I
more
saw
than
him.
five for sure. Yeah, seven,
Give me a
Yeah,
six,
I saw
number.
seven,
five.
One number, Neeraj.
six.
Dipesh, do you have a number? No
I
googling.
think six.
हाँ
Six is
कर
the
ले तो
correct
गूगल कर ले
answer,
भाई.
but we'll give a point to
Oh,
Neeraj who got the answer first. So that's correct. And what's the maximum number of yellow cards that a player has gotten this season in the Premier League after 4 game weeks?
I'm guessing four.
I won't ask you who that is because that's difficult. But what's the
is it three?
maximum? It is three. It is
I
three.
guess it's three. Surge
Bonus
Warrior.
points
Surge
if you
Warrior.
get the player as well.
Warrior.
I'll have to check. the
I मेरे
correct
को
the correct answer
हाँ
is three, and that player is
सर्ज
Anthony
वॉरियर होना
Gordon,
चाहिए.
Oh.
Emerson, Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea, and Ola Aina from
Yes.
Nottingham Forest. So a lot of players. So yes, that brings us to the 23-24 season. We will have the table so far. I'll just bring the table so far so that it's good for us to navigate through the season so far. Here it is. Yes, guys. So the top performing teams, we can look at the top 10, Man City, Tottenham, Pool, all the way. Let's go to top 12. uh, what are your thoughts?
ये क्या है ये?
Initial thoughts on the
It,
season so far. Push, you want to go first?
yeah. So as you told in the beginning of the podcast, there was optimism pre the preseason, and after watching our first game with Liverpool, that optimism stayed. And I
Hmm.
was very, very excited for the upcoming season because the kind of football Chelsea played was amazing.
Right,
We watched it together, you, me, and Dipesh, and you also were quite happy with the kind of performance we were having. Of course, at that time, the midfield was missing for both the teams.
right.
Uh, but even though the midfield wasn't there, we had a very promising game and a promising start. But somehow, after everything we got from the transfers and the players which we wanted to bring in, after them coming in, we have looked a bit shaky. But
Hmm.
again, looking at the stats, most chances created, most chances missed, we are topping that. So that shows nothing but that we just lack that finesse which was
Hmm.
lacking last year also, but this year it's more clinical in terms of that the chances which we are creating. So the optimism stays. I hope that this international break, the manager goes back to the board, understands the players, tells the understands the players understand the manager, and we I
Also
hope
know
that we
his
come back
players.
stronger. Also know his
It is
players.
not.
Also know his
This
players, which
point.
is very true, which is absolutely right. And one bad news again for us tomorrow is that all Chelsea players are made up of plastic. Lavia
Plastic
got
is
injured today in
good. I think glass would be the answer
ग्लास. तो ग्लास बोलते हैं तो लाविया आज वापस इंजर हो
because
गया
they are
इन ट्रेनिंग
expensive,
केम बैक.
but it's don't you think? I mean, I'd like to. I mean, there've been a lot of like unusual number of injuries across the footballing world. Not only Chelsea. I mean, if you look at United, they've lost both their left backs. They've got the striker coming back only now. In general, I feel there are a lot of injuries, especially with ACLs. Madrid had two. I think Arsenal also, we had Timber going out. Is it, this was my feeling, but do you also feel, Neeraj, you can maybe start. Are there unusual amount of injuries before a season or at the start of the season, or do you think this is just a thought or this is just a vibe that we're getting, or is it really the fact?
No, no. Actually, I think there are quite of injuries which are happening. Like we haven't seen so much at the season start. I mean, we saw like a Instagram page as well, right? The players which have already going through ACLs and all those
Hmm.
surgeries. So I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's the workload or the kind of regime what these players are going, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's been quite a lot of injuries. And coming back to Kush's point, like Chelsea fans have been like used to this getting injuries, and we used to look at Liverpool players like Salah and Mane. They used to keep themselves fit, but yeah, like we never had that opportunities. Like most of the players have been injured, and yeah, just like adding to Kush's point, like optimism was there. Like after the first match, even the West Ham first half as well. Like that after that penalty miss, like things have like turned a bit, not like towards the
Enzo.
pessimistic side of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but still, I believe in these players. Like it's kind of the Lampard's first season thing. Like all the youth, although whatever, like it's just like they'll whatever bad they'll do, they'll lose only, right? But we get to see good football, so we are just optimism in that. Yeah. And speaking about chances, I think one day Jackson will finish. Like he has everything in this game, like the turns and passing, how the link up play, everything is there, but just he just doesn't finish it. But yeah, I think the rawness is there in all the players, like not just about Jackson, like the playing those critical passes. So yeah, I think optimism is still there. But yeah, let's hope like it turns into like it stays the season around. And I have hopes with Pochettino as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Dipesh, in general about the Premier League, you want to talk about the cities, especially the Spurs. I heard you were impressed with Spurs as well.
Yeah.
Pool has been looking very. Let's maybe talk about the undefeated teams, right? I think City, Spurs, Pool, West Ham has been a surprise. They've got a surprisingly good start. Arsenal, I think yeah, but Brighton have also looked good. Palace are up there, but of course, I mean you can't from seventh onwards, I mean, after 4 games, you can't necessarily judge them based on performances. But yeah, I think the top six, Dipesh, if you can see them on the screen, do you want to talk about them?
Firstly, I would like to say that about the injuries that we were talking about, I think it was very much expected. I think everyone expected a lot of players to get injured, obviously because they have played a lot of football. Uh, a World Cup between a season and the season ended like uh,
Very late.
probably how it how it ends every year, and they packed in a 7 game tournament. Obviously, so much travel for all the players. I think it was expected, and lot of players from the Premier League and Real Madrid and Barcelona, a lot of players are getting injured. A lot of injuries are there throughout Spain as well. So it's not something which was not expected, but I think
Hmm.
uh, this was bound to happen, and that's a very sad thing. But
Yeah.
I don't think there is going to be much difference, uh, even despite all these injuries as well. So yeah, coming back to the Premier League table, I think it was expected for Man City to be on top. I also thought,
Yeah. No
I think,
surprises.
uh, yeah, and I think West Ham is a surprise for me, and
Yeah.
probably Tottenham. But Tottenham have played a very good football. Like they have
Yeah.
been so fast uh, on the counters. Like they have basically played on counters, and
Yeah.
they have also scored a lot of goals. I think they have scored 11 goals. They have as many goals as Man City. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Madison has been hitting the ground running. Like
Yeah.
he's like fit into the wheel so well in
Yeah.
Spurs. And yeah, like the new manager, they look quite impressive. Hate to say this, but yeah, Spurs are doing really well.
Absolutely. I mean, for me,
So
when I look at Ange and he's a positional play manager, I think Spurs are not meant to have was not meant to have a positional play manager as good as Ange. The Spurs are supposed to have peak Sean Dyche football. That is what I associate with Spurs. Like I respect Sean Dyche so much for what he does to mid-table clubs and relegation
Mid-table
battles.
teams.
I
relegation.
mean,
Yeah.
his
Yes.
football is effective for them, but that's the kind of football I want Spurs to be associated with. Transitional Kane, Son is I also didn't mind, but positional play is a very effective system, right? And not every manager can do it. But Ange is a tried and tested person at Celtic who has done it, and Spurs also have the personal now. They no more have that burden of Kane and trophies on their head also. So they've sold him. They moved on. They have a good squad in general. Madison playing the eight. I can't talk any more good about Spurs. I'll stop there. So in general, yeah, good start. They've been scoring a lot of goals. I think they've scored a minimum of okay, no, except for one game, they've scored a minimum of oh no, they have scored a minimum of 2 goals in every game. Yeah. So first game 2-2, 2-0 against United, 2-0 against Bournemouth, and 5-2 against Burnley. So they are
Fine.
scoring a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Spurs. I can absolutely not talk any more about them. Pool has been very impressive. Pool, especially I think against Chelsea, they were sus. We looked at Chelsea
Yes.
versus
Yeah.
Liverpool. It was a sus game where Chelsea actually seemed to be the more promising team. But since then, I think Klopp has managed to do well. Especially by Spurs, उनका ट्रांसफर में भी दो तीन धोखे लग गए, दो धोखे तो सीधा लावी और काइसेडो का ही लग गया. But uske baad, I think, yeah, they still managed to get a, Gravenberch, who is neither Lavia profile nor Caicedo profile. He's a midfielder. He's a eight. He's not a six. So they got Gravenberch and they got what? I think Endo, right? Endo, who's the six, the
Yeah,
Yeah.
Japanese player. So they got two replacements in, and they somehow did not or uh, tempted. They were tempted to sell Salah, but they did not sell Salah. So they have kept hold of Salah as well. But they look impressive.
Yes.
Liverpool, I think Liverpool, except for Chelsea, what has happened? They played Bournemouth. They have conceded in every. Do you notice this? So they
Yes.
conceded in
Yes. They
almost
have
every
considered
game,
that.
bar the Villa game, which was a clean sheet. But yeah, other than that, they've conceded in
But in
every
that
game.
pool, Villa played really bad. So and
Yeah,
they started well. Villa started well, but couldn't. The Liverpool took
yeah.
sung that in, and then they were just amazing on counters.
I
But
remember
yeah,
mentioning
Liverpool's
in the
defense.
preview that Liverpool are going to get a lot of 3-1s, four
Yeah.
twos, and
Yes,
see
I
this is what's
remember.
happening. Their defense is
Yes.
sus. But yeah,
The
let's see.
defense is looking very bad, very shaky. I think VVD is not the same player as I mentioned in the preview also, that he
Hmm.
does not look like the same
Kaptan
defender
now,
he was
Kaptan.
before.
Yeah,
But yes, so and I think we should talk about Arsenal now.
yeah, yeah.
What do you think?
I think
How
so.
do you
I'll
think
I'll maybe go
Arsenal?
game by game. I'll definitely
Yes,
do a Arsenal wrap up separately, but just quickly, I think the first game was comfortable. We shouldn't have considered this one goal, but I think if you look at the match, it was absolutely controlled Forest from top to toe. Palace, we faced adversity with a red card, but we kept the clean sheet. Fulham was the only game that we drew. I think that game we should have kept, right. We were leading. I think we went 1-0 down,
yeah,
and then we scored two. They got the red card and then set piece. From the corner they just scored. So that these were just 2 points dropped.
There was a
So
penalty miss in this, right?
we did not miss a penalty. We
Okay.
we did not. I think Odegaard has scored one penalty. Saka has scored one penalty. And
Okay.
against United, we got a penalty, but it was overturned. But who cares? We
Yeah.
got the biggest dopamine of all, scoring two in 90 in injury time.
90.
98th and
Mm.
100th minute. So against United also, I think it was more about the result. So this year, I think Arsenal system, Mikel has been trying a lot with the system. Working around. The main idea behind Arsenal system this season, what I've noticed is they want to. It's made to play big games, like to play the Champions League games, to play the big teams. So the games against smaller opponents is looking ugly. And the left hand side is completely new. I had also covered that. It's completely new. So
Right.
it's not looking very pretty, but it is effective. We are scoring a lot of goals. So I don't complain. And as soon as we go, I mean, while we are trying out new things, if we are going down, Mikel is making the right changes to bring us back on also. So Fabio Vieira, for example, has been brought on and he's been the game changer in two games. So yeah, looking forward now after the game week. I think next month we have City Spurs both in the month of September, October. I think we have them both. So would be
Plus
challenging.
the Champions League will start.
Yeah, looking forward. Champions League also. I mean, we got a Europa group in a Champions League, man. So 7 साल से रुके थे.
वो
अब इसमें भी हमको
सबसे बेस्ट ग्रुप मिला तुम लोग को फॉर अ
नहीं,
कमबैक.
बेस्ट तो सिटी को मिला है भाई. But हाँ,
तो
I
सिटी
don't
के
complain. I'll never complain. But you
या
wanted a huge this thing. But anyway, it is what it is. Dipesh, Brighton. Do you want to talk about Brighton? How impressive they were? If you look, they've been the team who scored the most goals. 12 goals, even more
Yeah.
than
12.
City. Even Ferguson, Mitoma, everyone on song. But yeah, want to talk about Brighton or in general anything else that you see over here or you don't see that you want to pitch in? Maybe
In
Man
in
United.
in Brighton, I want to see Ansu Fati start
Oh,
very
nice.
soon,
So now
start
your
Yeah.
favorite
games.
team in
Yeah.
the Premier League must be Brighton only.
Brighton.
I think not necessarily my favorite team, but I see a lot of potential in Ansu Fati, and I think I was thinking that if not Barcelona, he's gonna prove himself somewhere else, but he's definitely gonna prove himself somewhere, and he's got a good loan under a good manager and in a good team setup. This is a very good team, and I think Ansu Fati can play on the left, uh, probably behind the striker, and sometimes he played as a striker
Hmm.
in place of Lewandowski last season
They
when
also have Europa,
Lewandowski
no?
was
So I think the minutes can also be divided.
yeah,
Does
yeah,
Ansu play on the
and
right?
they have no, not on the right. He plays on the left, number 10, maybe sometimes number 9. But this, I think, it's not just a regular loan signing for Brighton. I feel because his wages were 200,000 pounds a week at Barcelona, and Brighton have taken over his 80% of his wage bill. So that's
Mhm.
160,000 pounds a week. It's a lot for Brighton. I think I'm not sure. I think it's their captain who is the second most paid
Who's
player
Dunk?
for them. I think it's around 90,000 pounds. So
Yeah.
I think this is a proper
Statement
uh,
signing, yeah.
signing, yeah, a statement signing for this team because they a team wouldn't get a player on loan with such high wages just to you know have him on the bench or something like that. I think he's gonna
100%. Yeah.
eventually start play. He's gonna play crucial uh, in this. He's gonna be crucial for this side, if not for his injuries. But I think he's gonna score a lot of goals
Uh,
once
Let's hope
he's
he starts
completely fit.
games
And
rather
he
than
is,
being on the
yeah,
bench. Yeah.
I was just going to ask that only, but Rifesh mentioned how injury prone is Ansu Fati. Like,
Very.
he
is he James?
like
Is he
Arey.
James?
no he was fit for like most of the season last year
Acha.
around, but he was not played because Xavi used to play four in the middle. That was
Okay.
very weird. Yeah, so that is why he did not play many
Acha.
games. But he was very much fit last season
Okay.
for a good of the year. I think if he stays fit, I think he's gonna do a lot of things on the wing behind
Brighton
the
is a
striker
threat,
and
that
probably
means.
uh,
Ah,
you know
Brighton's
yeah
definitely a threat. I
yeah
mean,
yeah yeah right. I think they were a threat before him as well, and I think they definitely they get better with him.
Yeah. Okay. Now coming to our uh, friends like United, like who share the load with
I
us.
think Neeraj absolutely wanted a United fan here, but we couldn't manage for
Yeah.
today. But it's okay. I think Neeraj really wants to say
Yeah.
something about them.
Sahil Patel and Manan Mehta, shout out,
Yeah.
you guys are being missed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted that
Definitely.
Manan Mehta ka
Because
rant, like this,
because
this.
I followed United, like somehow I was free during their matches, so I started with that Wolves match, and they were absolutely pathetic in that match. I mean, they didn't deserve 3 points for sure, like at the max 1 point. But yeah, somehow they managed that 3 points. Onana, I don't know why that penalty was not given, so they were so lucky. So otherwise
Oh
they would
my
have
God.
been with us only on 4 points. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean that match, and then the other match. Uh, which they were like 2-0 down in the first 2 minutes. Which was this? I think Nottingham,
Forest,
right?
Forest, yeah,
I
at
think it
home.
Yeah,
was
Nottingham.
Forest,
not
Yeah,
Forest.
and then after the red card, then they turn it around. Otherwise, that match would have also been like a difficult for them as well. And then the Arsenal games, so like that was the 3-1 result was an apt result, I felt, because Arsenal
Gabriel,
clearly dominated that game.
Gabriel,
Yeah, yeah.
Gabriel.
Yeah,
So
That's
man.
yeah,
all.
I mean, and
I,
the only difference between United and us is like I think we at least don't have like off the pitch things going on around the club. Like
Oh my
yeah,
God.
man.
They have so
Some
many things like that going on with them.
yeah.
yeah,
I
like
can
both the
still
wingers
see.
are
I
yeah.
had to put my legs up. Dallo went across my legs, so he was still sliding.
बहुत
नहीं,
टैकल हो जाए
I
पूरा
mean, he had
करियर
to.
रुइन
Yeah,
हो गया
he had to. I
मतलब ऑफ
mean,
कोर्स बट वो क्या मस्त स्लिप
unlucky.
हुआ
One
यार
of
मेरे को
those.
तो
One. Yeah.
इट
Gabriel
इज
Jesus
वन ऑफ
just
दोस वो
realized
मेरे को
that. I'm Brazilian, fuck it. Like he should be Brazilian
And
on that.
I remember again we were watching the match together. I told Saurabh ki, "Arey,
Meme
it's
बनने
80th
वाला है.
minute. They should get you should get on
Jesus.
this Jesus,
Yeah.
and he will do his stuff because he's very good on the ball with his
See,
foot and
I
he's
was I was
amazing.
apprehensive because he just came off an injury, that to a knee injury. So that, but he came on and he's like I mean, he wasn't away.
He's go.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah, he's
passion
go.
that played. I mean, with him, it's the
Yeah.
passion. That's why you have to manage
And
him
I've
well.
always loved him. I always loved him. Whenever he was in City, also I thought he was underused. He was always not used at his best or something like that. And when he came to Arsenal in last season, I saw him perform. Oh, bhai, wo kya must player hai. I just love him as a
Yeah.
striker because a striker who's good on ball, matlab who can do trickery na. Matlab, we only see these wingers doing all this stuff, right? I've seen
Mm.
Hazard for us, doing all these Pedros
He
and
has a bit
everyone
of
doing all this.
Suarez in him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He has a bit of Suarez in him,
Except for the
exactly.
finishing.
अरे वो
Yeah.
करता है रे
Suarez
finisher
is a
सौरभ.
monster finisher, man. But Jesus, nah, not the greatest. He does so much off the ball that finishing तक आने तक पूरा body हिल जाता है तो.
थक जाता है,
But anyway,
थक
yeah.
जाता है बहुत.
Dipesh, I think I wanted you to also speak on United. What do you feel about their season so far? What looks, they signed Amrabat on the last day. We haven't yet seen Amrabat play for United. Also,
I
Højlund
think
gave a
he
good.
got injured. I think
Oh
Amrabat
God,
got injured.
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
yeah. But
So, yeah.
but still, any thoughts on ETH Sancho? I don't know if you've been following. ETH mentioned that Sancho hasn't trained the best. On a press conference, and Sancho had to release a statement stating that it's lie. I mean, he literally called his manager a liar. In a public forum. Sancho has always had a history of not being great in training, but is it always the right idea? To just criticize players
Publicly.
in public? Yeah.
I don't think it's the right thing. I think you have to come out and motivate your players.
Maybe he's
So it was
frustrated with Sancho,
very
I
not.
feel.
That could be a possibility too, but
And I think there could have
he
been another way to say that, right? Like in a better way,
Yeah.
probably.
But isn't this
exactly.
happening regularly now? Last year it happened with Ronaldo. This year is with Sancho.
And
So
when it
I mean,
happened
like,
with Cristiano, folks were like, okay, he did well. Even I myself, like
yeah,
he handled it
Yeah.
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Cristiano was
now this
being
Even
is
I.
becoming
amazing.
a thing. This is becoming a thing now, like with ETH. So ETH must be like चक देगा शाहरुख ना कि इस टीम का एक ही गुंडा हो सकता है और वो मैं हूँ.
And that is
And
not necessarily bad.
which
Maybe
is fair, which
Sancho
is fair,
did need this. Yeah.
which is fair. I'm not saying no, but then again, it just does not look good for a club like United. They have a good presence globally, and then the player also coming out and saying stuff and denying all the allegations with the manager put in does not necessarily put them in good books of everybody, right? Definitely seems that the players then the things start coming out that why they are playing the way they are playing. Maybe they are not believing in the manager's play. Because it has happened with Chelsea previous seasons where we wanted a manager out and fans were calling them out. There were players who were so we don't know what goes behind the
Yeah.
closed doors, but yeah, this is not something which should happen at
I
a
think
club like
I
United.
think another thing is it doesn't look good, especially when you're losing and you're not winning. So
Exactly,
that just
exactly,
aggravated everything. If they would have won
exactly.
and this came out, we could have been अरे अच्छे से handle कर रहा है Sancho को, he needed
Ah,
that वैसा. वो भी bad time, bad plays, all of that. So
yeah,
yeah, I
timing
think
is
before we wrap up, I would also like to put in focus.
I think one there was also some investigation on Anthony as well.
Hmm.
So that's another player maybe out of the
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
wingers now, I think.
Anthony,
Yeah.
Anthony
Yeah.
is gone now. Anthony is not going to play, so it's again
Yeah.
like again a Greenwood situation. I feel.
Yeah, we can't
Yeah.
comment because we don't know what the truth is. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
we'll
yeah.
just leave it
But
to
for for
whatever
But
for
it
he's
is.
for
not
time
going to play. Yeah,
for
correct.
timing
Yeah.
is not going to play, right?
It's a huge
That's
blow for
the
them.
Yeah.
But maybe for the good
yeah.
because he was anyway on the field. I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan. I've एक दो बार कर्लिंग शॉट मारा तो यूनाइटेड फैंस से मेरे को बोला है कि हाँ क्या एंटनी बोल रहा था तू बट नहीं ही इज नॉट अ प्लेयर स्पेशली 100 मिलियन तो है ही नहीं तो होपफुली अब
नहीं है ना मेरे को
पेलिस्ट्री
भी अब
या
तक वर्थ नहीं लगा.
कोई और तो उनको
So
खिलाने खेलने मिल जाएगा गुड फॉर आई थिंक इट्स
this
अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज
actually now this is
Okay.
not been spoken a lot. Sancho plus Anthony has cost them some 185 or 190 odd million. Okay, and this thing has not been spoken lot on over the media, that
Hmm.
how badly they are performing with the price tags they have come in.
Yeah.
And it's completely like
It's
what they have,
the
if
English
you
and
compare.
Brazil tax, but yeah, it happens worldwide with
Yeah,
English
yeah,
and
but
Brazilian players.
Yeah.
they have zero justified their cost. And unlike Bellingham, who is outrageously performing well for Madrid, and the same hype, Sancho came to United and completely gone.
Yeah.
Zero.
I think one final club that we'd like to talk about, which we were very hopeful with, who showed a lot of promise, but we have been very unlucky with big games at the start of the season,
Newcastle
is
United.
Newcastle United. I think if we want to look at their season so far really quickly, I think Newcastle United, they are languishing here in 14 with just one win. And I think that one win came against, if I'm not wrong, it came against Villa, which was a huge win,
Yeah,
5-1. But other than that,
Hmm.
that was the first game. Then they lost against
that
City,
was the
Liverpool,
match.
Brighton. So this is probably the
That
worst
was
run
Big
of games you
matches.
can get, right? City,
worst
Yeah.
Liverpool,
start
Newcastle.
anyway. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And but that was the match 5-1 Aston Villa. Again, that cannot be called an easy fixture because you have Emery there. But that was
true,
the
Yes.
true.
match where Dipesh, the unbiased panelist, oh my God, Newcastle, what a team, beautiful team. Isaac is
They
looking
still
great.
are.
Anthony, great. Which they are. I don't
Beast.
deny the
Liverpool,
beast and
Dipesh, we will come
everything.
back to them at the end of the season, Dipesh.
Suddenly, you wouldn't believe I've taken Isaac in my FPL team because of Dipesh Wada, because of course I have utmost respect to what he has. His football knowledge is actually good, whatever fun I make or banter aside. But then when it comes to such things where we can get back to him, I will.
Absolutely, I agree. I
And I
agree.
will not leave it. So Newcastle, Dipesh, what do you feel? What do you have to say about Newcastle,
Yeah,
please?
I think they had a very difficult run.
Yeah,
It was crazy, crazy difficult run. I think
true.
Liverpool, I guess
And
it
Liverpool, they
was
were unlucky, I
City.
feel.
Yeah, the most difficult
Yeah.
start to any club in
Yeah,
my
I
memory.
think it was City, I guess, and it was Brighton, I guess.
right then.
Very difficult fixtures. I think it's the same for United. They faced Arsenal. Next, they're gonna face Brighton. Next, they're gonna face Bayern Munich in the Champions League. So they have a difficult run of games as well.
Why? What about Newcastle's
But yeah,
Champions League group?
Newcastle.
यार बेचारे यार वापस but in a way good कि भाई every fixture will be a blockbuster for them. Like it will be a crazy game. All 6 games will be crazy for them, for the
Yes.
fans,
Yeah,
because you never know what
yeah,
happens next year. एक season है तो 6 के 6 games blockbusters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we
Very
can
difficult
wrap up
group. Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
That was a really quick and a good wrap up of almost all the teams from top to bottom. I think players wise, we don't want to talk about the boring Haaland and his boring team Man City. But yeah, we'll see after
Yes.
hopefully 2 months wrap up. We should have the table should take shape. It should take some shape or
Shape.
the other. We should have more to talk. So we will see you all.
Oh,
Yeah, Dipesh.
Saurabh mentioned the boring Man City. Walker came out the other day and he said something like,
Run away with
"It's
the league.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want to be in the competition. We want to run away with the league like we did in
That's
16, 17,
17, 18.
something like
beautiful
that."
mentality, na?
Yeah, we will
After
be there.
winning such,
We will be
what
there.
mentality, man? This is champions. Anyway, hope to see Chelsea and United. I hope you don't have to click the down button the next time we
Scroll.
do this
Yeah,
podcast, and
yeah,
you don't have to scroll down. And we hope that United and Chelsea both make it to the top, and
Yeah.
we have
yeah.
a good have some more positives to talk about. So yeah,
Sure thing.
And City
And
loses some matches. Yeah, hopefully.
I'd like to also end with the background that I have Luton Town. Shout out to them, and this beautiful stadium, the house is right next to the stadium. Played 3, lost 3, of course. Difficult with Burnley, played 3, lost 3, but I have more hopes from Burnley and company's Burnley. But yeah, we'll be seeing after 2 months what happens. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
we'll see you. Do like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Kush. Thank you, Dipesh. Thank you, Neeraj.